That's right, boys. The hairdo is back. What a time to be alive. And I have to be real with you for a moment because I always try to be as fair as possible. I always try to be as impartial with my conclusions. But I have to say this. I think it's absolutely hilarious that the end goal of feminism is unironically women with power just trying to completely destroy other women that they do not like. Hilarious and unironically base to a degree.
A lot has happened since I was in Canada. Thanks to exposing them, several of Collective Shout staff have taken it upon themselves to double and triple down on their defense of cuties, as well as other actions. Oh, that's
The defense of cuties, holy. The last time we talked about this was Sneeko saying how much he absolutely loved this. Disgusting.
right. I didn't include that last time. Collective Shout actually breaks rank with NCOS and other groups and wants to die on the hill that 650 little girls needed to be exploited and abused in their auditions, which included
Wow.
twerking, and the remaining cast absolutely needed to dance provocatively for the film because it started a conversation.
Oh my god. Do you know who last time used this starting a conversation excuse? Well, literally every single German psychologist in the history of the human race. No, I'm not even kidding, by the way. Do you know that every single German psychologist that has even been a little bit known has always turned out to be an absolutely insanely debaucherous PDF? And the government's always supported them? And you wonder why I absolutely feel no sympathy for modern day Germany. Well, I guess there's reasons, huh?
That ultimately went nowhere. But yeah, Detroit become human bad, cuties good. Make it make sense. More games have been targeted. itch.io has taken down most, if not all, of their not safe for work catalog. The UK's online safety
itch.io is fighting back against this now or something like that. We don't still know what's gonna happen because this takes a lot of time. And some people yesterday we talked about Valve fighting back and saying that Visa, no, Mastercard lied about this. And some people said, "Nah, this is who cares? Steam didn't do anything." Steam calling them out is massive because you need to understand how untouchable the payment processors in general kind of are. No one can really do anything up against them because well, their rules state that they can remove you for any reason that they seem fit or unfit. Honestly,
Act went live, censoring far more than anything intended, leading to a whole host of scam websites to pop up, as well as free speech being shut down, which it was indeed outed by a politician that yes, this was the goal.
For anti-migrant sentiment. I don't think 13-year-olds are engaging that. So is it also to monitor adults?
obviously.
Simple question, yes or no?
Yes, of course it will.
Okay,
There we go. Look, sorry.
And most interestingly, thanks to The Guardian, we have confirmation that Melinda Tankard Reist recently was put on the shareholder board that will oversee the age gate legislation for Australia.
Ah, but of course. Man, you gotta love what kind of absolute debaucherous hellscape Australia is, honestly. It's not only their environment, but also the people living there that want to, do everything they can to ruin everything that exists. Hilariously stupid.
Thus making her a foreign extremist government associated individual attempting to terrorize legal markets of the world, all over fiction. Kennedy, a collective shout goose, has been crashing out and is simply obsessed with me. Despite blocking me, she actively reads replies to my posts and even has the audacity to attempt to reply to some of them, continuing her ridiculous framing of things.
Wow, this person defended men's access to child sexual abuse, rape, and incest games, derided, defamed, or misrepresented.
That's a lie. That's just blatantly a lie. But, I mean, everyone probably already knows this.
Our movement, our campaigns, and our all-female team riled up a horde of rabid men against us, who have responded by sending us CSAM, the most vile porn, deepfake images based, sexually abused material using team members' image, rape and death threats, all because we help payment process.
Yeah, I don't believe any of this. This is all lie. As always, okay? Listen, if you don't believe me, you should, because I just received like 200 trillion rape threats. I mean, death threats. Same. What's the difference? Yeah, you better show some sympathy right there because there's a lot of them.
To account for their own terms of service. Great to know whose side you're on. Noted, and thanks.
Not only is none of that true, but the CSAM you're referring to is just anime memes. This person as opposed to this woman. There's a bit of a narcissistic slip up there, though, by admitting
A bit, you say? Wow.
that
Only a
they're
bit.
just helping the payment processor realize their terms of service. She and the other journalists in her
By the way, that is the most hilarious, stupid excuse you could give. Oh, we're just helping a company for no reason because the company is bad at doing what the company does. This so stupid. Oops.
little
What is
gaggle of
this?
graying gooses seem to think that they're above a bunch of lawyers, a bunch of regulators,
Yo, what the hell is this? Oh.
a bunch of lawmakers. Visa and Mastercard didn't need your help. So I'm actually not really too sure why they list. Oh, right. It's because Melinda's part of the Australian government now and can impact whether or not Visa and Mastercard can service the country. I digress. She and others also still refuse to acknowledge me as a woman and even dare to use, at least what it sounds like to me, threats. For our records, she insists, and it would appear they are attempting to gather personal information on myself and Smash JT. Sweetie Pie, I'm an open book. What do you want to know, oh defender of cuties? During my time away, I did not stop working. I released threads of information, but most important was reading 1,200 pages of legalese in Visa and
jeez.
Mastercard's rules, to which I discovered the following troubling pages. The rules state as following. In relation to, or for the purchase or trade of photographs, video imagery, computer-generated images, cartoons, simulation, or any other media or activities including, but not limited to, any of the following: child sexual abuse materials, incest, bestiality, rape, or any other non-consensual sexual behavior, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part. A member that does not comply with these requirements will be subject to non-compliance assessments prescribed under the Visa Integrity Risk Program. You can read about that further in their massive document, and on the tweet I've got some links for some other bits and pieces of it, but this is the most important part. This "but not limited to" means that they can essentially take away any content that they
Yeah, it's like the point of these rules is not to have rules, it's just to say we can do whatever we want. That's the probably scariest and stupidest part about this.
deem unfit for use of the Visa brand. Now, again, these rules absolutely make sense when you just apply it to human flesh and blood. These are terrible things that are against the law, but it's being applied to fiction. Game of Thrones exists, and I don't see them complaining about that.
True.
Mastercard compressed their rules down to 400 and some odd pages, but the same language is shining through. Under Section 512.7, illegal or brand damaging transactions, they state the following: the sale of a product or service, including an image which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value, as such by way of example and not limitation, images of non-consensual sexual behavior, sexual exploitation of a minor, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part, and bestiality, or any other material that the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark, aka their brand. So Mastercard actually goes a step further in their vague language, but it's all the same at the end of the day. Again, these
This is, by the way, the rules for literally everything. All of this, by the way, can be traced back more or less to World of Warcraft, by the way. I know, it's hilarious. But one of the oldest situations where the rules needed to be defined as to not limited to is because of World of Warcraft. That's right. Like 20 or something years ago, this happened. Someone made a World of Warcraft account, they played the game, and then they stopped playing for like 2 years or something. Then they started playing again and their account was deleted. And they sued Blizzard. And they won. Convincingly. And so, this is the moment where everyone pretty much slowly started to say, yeah, we can do whatever we want with your account. We can do business with whoever we want without limitations. If we feel like not doing business with you, we can just stop. And things like this. It's pretty insane.
Rules make sense when you apply it to human behavior, but not in the world of fiction, because this rule is clearly not being applied evenly. These both allow the companies to abuse these rules. Both were updated.
The point of rules is the fact that someone makes them, and that someone chooses how they're applied, and typically it's in their favor. This is the problem with rules in general.
This year. These rules sound like things that were originally covered for just pornography, real people, because it is illegal to do the bestiality, the dismembering, the rape, and so on and so forth. So, in a way, these rules actually make sense. But why is it being applied to fiction of all things?
Well, it's most likely applied to that because not a single person in the Ibersteamer list has been arrested. It happened, but no one cares who it happened to. Trump just says, don't worry about it, okay? It's gone. It never happened. It's Obama, actually, if I think about it. Yes, so we know how these things work.
4chan started a push to clog phone lines, but there's another route that I also want to encourage. While you're on hold, file
Emails,
an ethics
letters.
complaint. Financial institutions are required by law to have these there, and if there is a trend in complaints, they are raised with the board of directors, and the information is distributed to shareholders and customers. This works in our favor on two fronts. Force them to see the issue and naturally raise a very fair complaint of ethics violations. We don't have to stop there, though. We can also raise complaints with the FTC and the Better Business Bureau. Legal works of fiction, protected by law in both Japan and America, have been censored by Visa and Mastercard, but the world will stand for it no more.
Gamers have already pretty much destroyed Mastercard's phone line. They're sending an automated message and whatnot in replies to all of this. It's kind of crazy.
They happily.
And MasterCard is still lying to our faces saying, oh, you're just stupid. Nothing actually bad happened. Yeah, that doesn't work. It's the most insane part, by the way, about all of this garbage is the fact that how these companies, even the people at the lowest levels, some magically how believe that they are just so much better than the average person. They are just so much smarter, better than everything. It's true, probably the CEO is on average smarter than the average person. Who gives a shit, though? They are not the arbiters of morality. They are not smart enough to pick what the world needs to be like. They're just some rando CEO. Well, I say that, but Bill Gates is currently going to start cloud seeding because, yeah, that can only end in good ways, right?
Attack games and manga and anime, but don't go after Hollywood for the very same topics. I wonder why that is. Mastercard attempted to put out a statement, but it is flimsy at best, and somewhat throws Collective Shout under the bus. They continue to hold on to the lie that they have told for years.
We didn't do nothing.
As
We don't go
always.
after legal content.
Lies. Every single platform has named Mastercard and payment processors for the reasons and rule shifts and content deleting. You have Collective Shout admitting Steam did nothing until they messaged someone at payment processors. So do these companies have rogue employees? This isn't a good look, no matter how it's framed. Collective Shout staffer Kennedy wants to emphasize that she had to hold the payment processors to their own standards, saying that they're incapable of enforcing rules with their thousands of staff and expensive lawyers. But regardless of all of this, we know what the truth is.
To be fair, most of, by the way, big company lawyers are not actually that expensive. There's like a couple of ones that are really expensive that lead the whole shit, but everyone else is like a, I don't know, support puppy, pretty much.
Payment processors are acting unethically and immorally, picking and choosing on who gets to benefit from their service, all while trying to continue to play innocent. I don't doubt that the person who actually wrote that message probably believes it, but it came from people who know the truth, and they know what they're doing, and they know what they're doing is wrong. So congratulations, you are pushing people towards your competitors. The first payment processor to...
I mean, technically, but I don't even know who does the payment processing for my bank, to be completely honest. I have no clue. I'm assuming it's MasterCard, by the way, but I don't know. Most people do not know. So switching a payment processor is actually relatively hard. Also, if we start doing this, I would not be surprised if suddenly one day Trump says, okay, now it's illegal to do this, and yeah, we're gonna shut down the smaller payment processors because reason.
To come out and say, we'll never censor your artwork, they're going to win very big. I don't know if Discover or some of these other cards want to try to make a bid for it right now. I sure hope they do. But until then, all we can do is wait. Right now, there is some legal action against Ofcom being taken. Please go support these legendary individuals for attempting to draw a line in the sand legally in a manner that I cannot do myself. If I were a lawyer, I'd be more than happy to, but unfortunately, I'm not. So we'll leave the law stuff to the wonderful experts out there, and I will continue to keep.
Well, up. Just click. Well, that's pretty interesting. What can I say? Anyway, that was Madame Savi, 10 out of 10. Bye!